Well, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has talked up a constructive meeting with the Solomon Islands hardline leader today on the final day of the Pacific Islands Forum in Fiji. I told you last night how the two leaders greeted each other with a longing hug, which flies in the face of Prime Minister Sogavare's comments concerning Australia from his hometown in Honiara in recent weeks. He also ruled out the possibility that China would be granted permission to establish a military base in the country. Jonathan Lea joins us live from Suva in Fiji. Jono, these two have acted like, well, long lost buddies.
Well, Chris, they certainly have. You normally have what's called the grip and grin, as they say it colloquially. You come in for the handshake and you smile for the cameras. I don't think anyone expected Minister Sogavare to throw his arms out and say, I want a hug when it came to Anthony Albanese. It's the third time they've spoken since Mr Albanese, the third time he's spoken to a senior government official since Anthony Albanese has been elected. We were seeking assurances yet again that security pact wouldn't end up with a Chinese military establishment being built on Solomon Islands. Our Prime Minister says he's been given that assurance, and I want to read you something as part of an interview which Mr Sogavare gave today. It was very rare to actually get him to speak to the media. He went on to say, I think this is the reason why you can trust there won't be a base. I think the reason is simple. The reason is regionalism. The moment we establish a foreign military base, we immediately become an enemy. And we also put our country and our people as targets for potential military strikes. Now, older viewers might remember the Battle of Guadalcanal, which was the Solomon Islands, where tens of thousands of people lost their lives. If anyone in the Pacific knows the danger of having a military base and then the Allies inevitably retaking that island, it is the Solomon Islands. So maybe that sends a chill through to everyone. That might just be a leader who understands the consequence. You certainly hope that's what's at the top of his mind, Chris.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And so does Anthony Albanese believe what he was told?
Yeah, he certainly indicates that he believes at the moment that there won't be a base. The Solomon Islands has said that Australia will remain its security partner of choice. If there's a gap, then China will come in and assist in that capacity. Mr Albanese was telling journalists on the ground just a few moments ago he believes it's been an extraordinarily successful forum.
It's been a very successful meeting of the Pacific Island Forum, and it's been a great pleasure and an honour to represent Australia here. We are family when it comes to the Pacific, and there was a good spirit of cooperation and dialogue, speaking about our common interests.
Those shirts are classic, but anyway, I want to ask you for fashion advice, Jonathan. I do want to know about China. Deputy PM Richard Marles, who's in Washington this week, has made some chilling comments about the threat of China's military build-up. Has China been the shadow hanging over this forum?
It certainly has been a shadow. It's been a shadow as far as Australia is concerned. Most of the leaders here, their predominant concern, and it will come out in the communique, which inevitably is finished later tonight, that the chief concern is climate change and climate action, and that is something our government has been pushed on. We, especially the media, have certainly been focusing on the security concern. That's something which will also be reflected in the communique, we understand, talking about the need for these countries to stand together and be united. The concern is if one of them is picked off, potentially the likes of Kiribati, which strangely didn't come because they're upset over who was chairing the summit or this forum. It enables China or any other military adversary to create a base here, so everyone is aware of it. It's something our government has been talking about strenuously behind the scenes. So yes, the cloud does hang over this forum. Everyone is aware of it. And now our government is trying to make sure that no country is able to be picked off, that we are top of the pops when it comes to security, faith and belief in the region. And our government, our new government, is working extraordinarily hard to make sure that stays the case. In fact, I even asked Mr Albanese quickly whether he thought there should be a state of origin game here. He said yes, in the Pacific that would be very popular. He would support it. He also backed the idea of PNG having a team or a connection to a team in the NRL. Chris, I know you like your rugby league. You might have a thought on that one also.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It would be one way. It's almost soft diplomacy. I like that idea. Jonathan, enjoy cocktail hour. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.